What's up? What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome back. It's been a while. Okay. Last time I said, "Oh, welcome back," and people are probably like, "Great, they're back." Then the drafts and stuff happened. Then we went away, and people were like, "Wait, where'd you go? Where'd you go?" We took a little break, but we're back. It's draft season. JD, my co-host, my partner in crime, JD, how you doing? We're back, baby.
I'm great, and I'm glad to be back.
How did you enjoy? Well, okay, for you it was longer than me. For you it was what? Since the NFL draft was in April, right?
Yeah,
End of April.
Yeah, it was in April, but we went a little bit into May, I believe.
So for you, it's been since May. For me, it's been since June.
Yeah, well, and then the periodic hockey video.
Oh, that's like right. That. So you know what? How have you enjoyed your June to now off?
It's been busy with real life stuff, but I mean, it's weird because like I didn't really need a break from recording because like we only did it for 2 months really before taking a break. So I'm good though. I guess it was nice.
JD, I was telling you and I was telling Dave, I feel so refreshed. Like I am ready to go for the 2024 NFL draft. I'm ready for the NBA draft stuff. I am ready to just kill this season and dive into everything. And if you're wondering, Ricky, what's this video that I'm watching? Well, you saw the title. This is our big board. More specifically, the guy to my right. This will be his big board. Before I get into everything, though, let me get through the housekeeping. Number one, if you want these early, so the rest of our big boards all year, you can get them 4 days early by becoming we call it a plus patron member, or you could just become a regular patron and get perks for that as well. That link is down below in the description. If you're not in the Discord, the greatest community in the universe, the MVP Discord, that link is free down below in the description. And also, after you're done with this video, we will have videos right now. Quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, offensive line, the defensive positions. We are going to have videos for this. And what this is the brainchild of everyone here at MVP, but really of JD here, because the big boards are going to be JD's, the mock drafts are going to be mine. Every single big board, we're going to get to see what this man to my right thinks about these prospects, how they are ranked. How they're going to work is we have our individual videos. You're looking at the quarterback one right now. But if you go over to mostvaluablepodcasts.com, you'll be able to see his top 25. And that is all year for all the big boards. JD, I'm talking enough. Without further ado, we're going to start here. Quarterback video. I'm interested to see the order of this, but tell the people you can start from bottom up. You can start top down. This is where, like I told Dave for the NBA, this is where you get to shine, brother. Alrighty, let us know your list of your quarterbacks.
I'll start at the top. So, surprise, surprise, I have Caleb Williams at number 1. Number 2, I have Drake May. Number 3, I have Michael Penix. Number 4, I have Jaden Daniels. Number 5, I have JJ McCarthy. And I wanted to do this as an honorable mention, but we said, screw it. We're going to just add a 6. I had to add my boy, Quinn Ewers. So that's how that one rounds up there.
Another thing for this, if you guys didn't see the ones that Dave did, Dave and I kind of did this very quickly at the end for the NBA draft, and we kind of adapted it for this year. These lists, people might be added to it. Lists might get longer. Lists might stay the same. There might be 10 people. There might be 5 people. There might be 16 as the year goes on. It's really how many people per list, per position that this guy wants to add, that JD wants to add throughout the year. But JD, to start this conversation, I have an A topic and I have a B topic. Both of them are going to be discussed. I just don't know which one I want to start with. So I'm going to ask you, without you knowing what's coming first, do you want the A topic or do you want the B topic?
I want the B topic.
All right. So the A topic will wait. The B topic is about you said it, your guy. Your guy. Honorable mention, number 6, Quinn Ewers. I have a question about where you have him ranked, because you have him ranked 6. There's a lot of people that I've seen have him as the third best quarterback in the class coming into this year. The question I have for you is, the reason you have him so low, is it because if he struggles this year, I'm trying to think, I don't think Texas has named him the foregone starter yet. Is it because you think that, oh, there's a little boy who can't keep his ID under wraps. His ID's been around the Texas campus, and he can't seem to not lose it. I wonder how many he's had. But is it because of a certain Arch Manning kind of sniffing at his starting quarterback job? Is that why you have him at 6?
That's honestly part of it. The other reason is I'm iffy on if he even makes it to the draft. So it's kind of cautious because he still has years of eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, he did good. I loved watching him play. Like, I'm not a Texas fan, but I did watch quite a few Texas games because I was so intrigued by him. But I don't know, if he struggles, will Arch Manning take his spot?
Mm-hmm.
Probably. And then how will that affect his draft going forward, or will he transfer again? So for me, based off pure talent, I would have raised him, but I think there's just so many question marks with him. That's why he's at my low spot. But if he does what I think he will do this year, he will definitely raise up the big board.
I mean, you bring up a good point, and that one that I didn't even think of is he does have, so coming into this year, he's a sophomore, right? And he obviously has years of eligibility. He's kind of fallen into, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody out there in the universe watching this, I believe he's under the same eligibility requirements that like Jameis Winston was under, where Jameis Winston was a sophomore, but because he was like a redshirt sophomore, he had that third year. It was like redshirt freshman, sophomore of eligibility. I think it's a good shot of like, so you bring it up, and this is why my brain is ticking a little bit. If he loses this job at any point in the year, he's going to transfer, right? Like it's almost like I've lost the job. There's no way I'm going to be a top quarterback prospect. Let me go somewhere else to prove I could be the starter. Because if I'm not a starter, or just, I think the worst case scenario for him, if he loses the job in preseason, won't be bad. But if he comes out, doesn't perform well, then gets replaced by Arch Manning, it then becomes okay, do I go to try to be in the draft anyways because I want to get my paycheck? Do I want to go be a starter somewhere else to basically be like, let me rewrite my story? Or the third option of he becomes the trivia answer of who was the starting quarterback when Arch Manning took over the mantle at Texas? Like, those are the three options then that he's got in front of him for how his story's written.
No, I agree completely. Like, ultimately, I do think he'll be the transfer route if he doesn't perform, because you got to think about it. He was that 5-star recruit coming out. I want to say he was the number 1 or number 2 quarterback like a couple of years ago. And yeah, he's still young. Like, he's a redshirt sophomore. So, I mean, he could still have up to 2 more years of playing, and we've seen quarterbacks become late bloomers. Now, I know a lot of, okay, not to make this about me, but a dip into my life. My girlfriend, all of her family are Texas fans.
Yeah.
And so obviously having conversations with them, they also brought up how a lot of people in Austin or Texas fans, they have been a little bit down on Ewers because of last season, because he had all this hype, and he had a good season before getting hurt, but it wasn't what they were expecting. So I think it's most likely that he would transfer, because he could just be a late bloomer, but he has all that hype behind him. So
I mean, I'm also looking just to validate what you were saying. When he was a prospect coming out of high school committed to Ohio State, he was the number 1 ranked prospect in the class. 1 overall, 1 quarterback, 1 state.
yeah.
As a transfer, when he was transferring from Ohio State, he was the 2nd overall prospect in the transfer pool. And this is according to 247 Sports and their kind of profile, I should say, on Ewers. Yeah, I just think the Arch Manning thing is interesting because if he gets replaced, I like that you put him at the bottom of like, hey, he deserves to be on the list, but we don't know how his season's going to progress. Option A, though, the other conversation I asked you with that you didn't know was there, is a guy that you left off your list, JD, and I want to know why you left him off your list, because to me, he seems like, okay, I don't know how to judge this guy yet. I don't know if it's going to be all hype or if he's actually going to do something this year, but there has been a lot of buzz, especially on Twitter, for a certain Tennessee Volunteer quarterback. Getting the first name because I always mess it up. Joe Milton III. Used to be at Michigan. He was the quarterback of Michigan during the COVID year. The one where Michigan did terrible, only won 2 games, had their last 3 games canceled on the year. Transfers to Tennessee. Obviously, last year he's behind Hendon Hooker. Bush's Beans Hendon Hooker. And now he finally gets the job, and there is the one I keep seeing on Twitter is people are saying like, oh man, like look at how far he can throw the ball. You know, like the Josh Allen, the who am I thinking of? Zach Wilson kind of thing of like, oh man, look at how far they can throw the ball. If that means the only thing to be a good quarterback. JD, I want to know, what were you thinking? Was Milton even on your radar? Is this something where you're like, yeah, he could play himself into the draft, but he's a senior. We'll see how he plays. He's already like an upperclassman. Like, what was going through your mind and why Milton III ain't on your list?
A little bit of that. Like, I honestly haven't dove super deep into him. Like, I've only watched like a tad, like maybe not even an hour worth of tape on him. So it was a little bit of that, and yeah, just I mean, he like you said, he was a starter for Michigan in that 2020 season. And I mean, I honestly, up until this draft point, I kind of forgot about him. I forgot he was even on Tennessee before actually diving into it.
Yeah.
But I agree, though. He has tremendous arm strength. Now, his placement of the ball is what really needs work, and his decision making. But yeah, would I be surprised if he made his way up into my top 5 quarterbacks? No, because we've seen that before. But I honestly, I would have put Bo Nix up there before him. There's many quarterbacks that I feel like could have been ahead of him.
Another guy I asked you about when I first saw your list, and another guy that you were like, he's the what did we say? The Stetson Bennett of the NFL this year. Like, how many teams has Bo Nix played for? Like,
yeah. Well, with Bo Nix, just to make this quick, it's one of those things where, again, you know me, you know me for a while now.
Yeah.
I'm the type of guy where you need to prove something twice to me for me to actually buy in. Now, Bo Nix had a really good year last year, but what did he do the previous year?
Yeah.
Nothing. So now prove me, like, if he starts the season hot, yeah, you probably see him break into my top 5, because then it's like, all right, well, now he's starting to actually put together more tape. But yeah, I mean, I think he's just, when I watch Bo Nix, there's nothing that's really eye-popping for me. He's a very good game manager. Now, I know I might get some heat for that, but that's what I saw with Stetson Bennett, and I see something pretty similarly in Bo Nix. But Bo Nix is a better athlete. I'll give him that.
See, here's the thing, though, and this is the kind of, I think, the thing that to me ultimately rounds up the quarterback position for this draft is like, I was talking to you of like yesterday of what's going to be the position that dominates the draft this year. there's always that one position that it's like, these are all of your first round dudes. And I don't think this year's quarterback class is going to be that. There are going to be guys taken in the first round, obviously, that are taken in the first round because there's quarterbacks that need to be taken. But here's how I ultimately see the quarterback class panning out this year. Caleb Williams is number one. He will be number one all year unless he completely flops, but he won't. USC will probably do well. It'll probably be their sending off from the Pac-12 before they officially join the Big Ten and completely kill the Pac-12 conference, because everyone's leaving the Pac-12. I think he's going to stay at number one. Drake May is at 2 for most people just because his name is Drake May, but I think he has the most to lose this draft season. He really needs to play up because there are, to me, 2, maybe 3 guys. Milton III, I think, is one of them, to where he could have I'm going to say a Hendon Hooker, and maybe I'm just thinking because it's Tennessee, a Hendon Hooker-like rise. If he plays well, Tennessee's in that national discussion. I believe they're 12th overall coming into the year.
Yeah.
Like, he has the most to gain out of everyone. But 2 of the guys we haven't mentioned, Michael Penix, who I call Michael Phoenix because he rises from the ashes like a phoenix. I love him at Washington. And then Jaden Daniels, who I remember him playing at ASU, Herm Edwards ASU. I remember watching him going, I like what's there, but I don't know if he's going to be the guy, if he's going to be a top 5 draft guy. Then he moves over to LSU. He's with Brian Kelly. And although I don't like Brian Kelly, I don't like the Brian Kelly LSU just because I'm not a huge fan of Brian Kelly. Jaden McDaniels looks leaps and bounds better than the ASU version of Jaden Daniels, to where I feel like Caleb Williams is going to stay 1. He's going to be the if de facto number 1 pick, number 1 quarterback. Drake May will start off at number 2. He will eventually fall. Will he fall to 2, 3? Probably one of those 2. Which quarterback between Penix, Daniels, or maybe Milton? It's probably between Penix and Daniels if I'm putting my money on it. But which one of those 2 guys are going to play themselves up into the number 2 quarterback spot? Because if you can tell, I'm not a huge fan of Drake May right now.
Well, honestly, like, again, you and I differ because we talked about this yesterday. I do think right now May is the second best quarterback. I have him at 2, but I do agree. I think he's the biggest boomer bust. I can easily see him and fall out of my top 5. I think
he could fall out of the top 5? Okay.
Yeah, because I have Quinn Ewers who could rise up.
True.
Milton could rise up. But I think my bold prediction from the preseason rankings is that come draft time, Jaden Daniels is the number 2 quarterback taken.
I could see it. That's the thing. Milton and Daniels, I think a lot of their success is going to come off of LSU, Tennessee. How much are they in the national discussion all year? How much are they challenging for the playoffs, challenging for the national championship? Like, Hendon Hooker got most of his rise last year when Tennessee was a top team. Then they played Alabama. They lost Alabama and then kind of like sputtered out the rest of the year. Because let's be honest, like, usually that's how it goes in the SEC. Team gets really hot. Team gets the national notoriety. Oh, can they be the one to stick it to the Tide? Then Alabama comes in and goes, roll Tide, and rolls right through them, pun intended. And then we don't talk about them for the last 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I know about that all too well.
Am I bringing back, is this a PTSD, Vietnam flashbacks for Jaden?
Yeah, that 2021 Gator season with Kyle Trask leading the charge. But, LSU is going to be a very interesting team. Now, again, I have some bias because I am a Gators fan, so I'm always negative about them. Besides that that 2019 Joe Burrow team. I love that LSU team.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think they're going to be one of those teams that they're going to lose a couple games, and then they're just going to fall right off everybody's radar. But I don't think it'll be because of Jaden Daniels. I think that team has other holes in it, but that's a discussion for a different day.
Well, I mean, I will bring it up because I love bringing it up. I just want to look real quick. The big games on LSU's schedule this year, they start the season off against number 8 FSU. That's a big game. Then you have Ole Miss, who right now is 22. We'll see how Ole Miss is at the end of the year. Alabama, and then Texas A&M to end the year. LSU has a favorable schedule. They don't play Tennessee. They don't play Georgia. Like Ole Miss and Texas A&M, we'll see how they are. Like, yeah, they're ranked, but like when you're in the low 20s, it's like, okay, are you going to be ranked there at the end of the year? Are you going to rise or are you going to fall off? As long as they survive FSU and then that Alabama game, I think is going to be like the rest of their schedule. LSU, Jaden Daniels will probably be the one. If LSU makes it to the playoffs, I could see him being the number 2 quarterback, like you said. Because with quarterback, it's not just can you play, how well you play. That is linked to team success because you live or die by your quarterback. Before we end this, JD, any final thoughts about the quarterbacks? I know there was one on your list. JJ McCarthy didn't really mention. I got really nothing to say about him. I got to see how he plays the year at Michigan.
Yeah, well, with JJ McCarthy, I'll just say this: Michigan, I believe their season's all going to depend on him. If they do really well, which I've seen people have them in the national championship game. I've seen people have them in the playoff. If they make it that far, it will be because of him, and he will rise. He'll get talks for the number 2 quarterback, number 3. He's all around. He's all around a good quarterback. There's not much to say about him. I mean, other than he's good. I mean, but I will say
he's like a good quarterback. That's just my opinion, man.
No, but he's all around. There's just nothing he does that's bad. Like everything, he doesn't do. I mean, I do think he has really good.
He hears you said this and goes, "Oh, JD says I don't do anything bad. Hold my beer."
No, he doesn't do anything. But that's the thing. He's just he has good arm strength. You really screwed up this whole point now. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, Jesus.
Is he gonna have a big? Ooh, he is. It is Michigan. Can they beat OSU 2 years in a row?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, crap. Now I gotta think about Michigan because I'm like, oh,
dude. There are so many times I've backed Michigan. This is the year they're gonna do it, and then they always let me down in the end. And then the year I don't think they're gonna do it, they do it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Not to go on a tangent, but even yesterday I was thinking about this. I'm like. But when I finalized my list, I'm like, okay, I believe if JJ McCarthy was on any other team than Michigan, I'd be much higher on him. But the fact that he's on Michigan, and like you said, you can have one great season, or you can have a season like 2020 where you win 2 games.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's going to do it for the quarterbacks. Make sure to check out all our other videos. You can check them out on our YouTube page down below. Click that. Hit the subscribe button while you're at it if you liked it. And if you liked the video, hit that like button. Hit the notification bell if you want to keep up to date. Remember, can support us at patreon.com. That link's down below. Join the best community in the universe, the MVP Discord. That is down below as well. Check out JD's Top 25 Most Valuable Podcasts.com, where you can see our calendar, when things are coming up, when you can get it, how you can get it. Thank you guys for checking out this video. And as always, have a good day, everybody. As always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.